on 520. He's about to run the red light. Just ran the red light. Clear, clear. Coming up on Brantley Street. Alright, he just laid it down. 1050. He just got ejected. 1050, 1050. Go ahead and get EMS to me. Oh, Waycross, he's gonna be decapitated. His head is decapitated. Go ahead, send me everybody you got.
569 is clear. I'm 1076. I'll notify 019.
10-4. Yeah. Waycross, ain't much I can do. I think I can do CPR. His head is decapitated.
Here's one habit that makes you extremely intelligent.
First and foremost, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim pushing his truth with sincerity and charity. I'm the brother Yalad, responding to the video in the intro there. And as you seen it, Buddy was on the run from the police. Now, so to prevent all of that, we'll say this precept. Matthew 5:25, agree with thine adversary quickly, while lest thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. So, for one, it would have just been better to just stop and whatever the officer needed from you to just deal with it. Especially if you were wrong, just deal with it. Now, first, to prevent all of this, I speak to many newcomers in this faith and in the truth, that even those that may be on the fence from the outside looking in, whoever may edify, don't bring blame to the ministry. Don't be doing nothing crazy to have the police looking for you, you know, other than preaching his word and being involved in this ministry. You shouldn't have anything going on in your personal life that, don't be out there being some serial deleter or something, just out there attracting attention. Because if you're involved in this ministry, they're going to try to connect you to the rest of us to get us all blamed. So agree with your adversary. Because sometimes, things do happen. You might get a park in the wrong spot and they give you a parking ticket. Let it just be a parking ticket. Don't argue with these police or try to run away or do something crazy to where it's no longer a parking ticket. It's prison time. Or what you seen here, the man literally lost his head. So it's best to, especially if you're in the wrong, to take your punishment. Because even though this government is wicked and corrupt, the people that I set up, you see, I set up by the Lord to deliver certain judgment in this place, to punish people for doing certain wrongs. And things that are wrong that these devils have made laws against. And you ought not be doing them. So I'll say Ecclesiastes 7:1, it says, a good name is better than precious ointment, and a day of death than the day of one's birth. And that is so true for this video, because that man that is no longer here physically, but he's in the spirit world. He came into this world one piece, and he's leaving this world in two pieces, as far as his body physically. And that is true. He went out in a blast indeed. But if you would have just stayed whatever you had to deal with and just dealt with that and talked to him, could have been a speeding ticket or whatever. But the way he was going, I'm pretty sure he probably had some warrants for his arrest. But it don't do nothing crazy. All right, just take your whooping, take your beating on the chin, right, or whatever trouble that you got into by yourself and did unto yourself. Take it, because we've all made mistakes before, and some worse than others. But to have a good name, to be known, have a good reputation, it means something. And that good name does mean reputation. In the blue letter, Strong's H80 and 34, it does say reputation in here, fame and glory. But whatever your name is known for, that's your reputation. Right? It's not just your regular name, what you're called by. Because you don't want to bring any shame or blame to the ministry, and you don't want to bring no shame or blame to your name. The scripture talk about being like doves. You got to be cunning as the serpent and blameless as doves, and I'll just grab it because I spoke of it. Matthew 10 and 16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So you want to keep yourself out of harm's way and out of this devil's system of legalities to the best of your ability regardless. And granted, sometimes it might make you feel like a square. It might make you feel like you're not having no fun. But it's better to not experiment with certain things and then put yourself in harm's way, because Ephesians 5:15 says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And like that one scripture I bring out all the time, that you walk on the edge of the battlements, like all it takes is one slip and you can have a final destination way of going out. You see, and that's why we just have to walk circumspectly with the things that we do with ourselves. And even if we get into certain trouble with people, you may get into certain issues with coworkers at the job, man. People not going to like us regardless of where we go, but try to keep yourself blameless to the best of your ability. You ain't got to kiss these people's butts. Don't kiss nobody butt, but what I do mean is that don't start none, won't be none. You see, the only time it's gonna be a righteous way to break the law of this or the decrees, I better say, of these devils, is when we refuse to take the M to the O to the T to the B. That's it. That's the only time you go against the devil that the Lord set up to have rule over this earth, is when he says you gotta take this chip into your hand or in your head, and you say no. That's the only reason you should be into it with these the government like that, as far as they looking for you to imprison you or fine you or something. But nevertheless, it's something you did on your own. You out here smacking people upside their head unprovokedly, hitting strangers or something. God knows what the things you can go to jail for are many. Stuff that's on your own accord, avoid from doing that. And then, God forbid, if it happened, just serve your time. Just do your part to make it up. They probably let you off with some community service if it's some type of misdemeanor or something, because things could get worse if you try to do things uncircumspectly. And I'll leave it at that. Look, hopefully this is edifying. Shalom.